what do you think is the main reason why people just starts having these different you know they just start acting different with you when you come out?
Morals and ethics taught through the generations. That is all I'm going to say. Because, it takes a lot. I
But
told you
what
my
kind, what, how can you say that they are morals and ethics when they don't actually?
religion. Religion is the core. Religion is like the
But then that's
core.
not, that's, you can't say that they are morals. They're like fake morals then. What kind of moral says that you have the right to judge someone else?
I don't know.
Where
I think
does,
I think
where
I think
does,
we've grown up like in we've all grown up in an environment like whatever our parents say, it is right, it
yeah,
is true, and you have to follow it because it's something, it is something
written in
important.
the
Or
film.
agar humne wo nahi kiya, this is wrong. If we don't
Yeah,
follow them, it is wrong. And we grow up with that mentality.
yeah.
The we all grew up in wrong mentalities in a way.
But
Because
that's the thing. But that's the thing. It's not just the generations before us. There are thousands and thousands of people in our generation who doesn't really get it. I've seen so many homophobes in our generation that it's
yep.
just hurtful. And I've seen some people actually acting like they have, how do I say, that they support homosexuality. Like
Mm-hmm.
they act like, oh, I'm the biggest supporter of homosexuality, but once that gay person or anyone from the LGBTQ leaves the place, I've heard them talking about, I mean, I don't mind if others are, but if anyone would be in my family, I wouldn't accept that, which really doesn't make sense in my head. Because if you can accept someone not from your family being homosexual, then why, or not homosexual, from any kind of sexuality, to be honest, like if you can accept that a person who's not related to you can have any kind of sexuality, so why does it comes to, when it comes to your family, it becomes such a
So
big
listen to me.
problem?
This person is an homophobic. There is no in between.
I know that, I mean, I know that. I
The
know that.
only reason he's accepting this friend,
It's not
because
accepting, it's exactly called ignorance.
yeah. So social image, going with the trends, trying to make yourself, like show yourself like an ally. So you could seem like a good person and you would get that sort of attention.
Mhm.
And your agenda of being known as a supporting person, and oh my god, this is disgusting.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
you just
I mean,
said.
I was with
It's
that
just
person.
at the end of the day maintaining your social image.
Yeah.
Okay, this has nothing to do with the, it's like, oh my god, whoever have friends like these, leave them. Seriously, this is all about social image, that's
I
all.
know. I really know that.
And I just hope people don't get away with it because this is so dangerous. Then it comes like, who are you supposed to trust?
That's the thing. I feel like in today's age and world, there's absolutely no one that you can trust. I'm so sorry. I just got my second jab and it's a little painful. Our college was not safe for homosexuals at all. It was one of the most toxic cases that I've seen. Um, and it's the same case around the world for a lot of people. Uh, and living in that environment, I'm pretty sure it takes a toll on your health, on your mental health as well. uh, do you think that people really don't understand how difficult it is?
No, they don't. Unless and until you're in the same situation, I don't think people are going to understand the severity of being in shoes of a person who is not only already handling these new emotions and the new concept of their life, but there people think that coming out, you just told people it's over. No,
Mm-hmm.
that is like starting of a process.
Mm-hmm.
Because you say something, for a few days you feel like, okay, people are handling it well. But after a few days, that is when you find out who are the real ones and who are the ones who's, going
Mhm,
to stab you in the back, or act weirded out, or treat you like you're uh some sort of disgusting thing. And
mhm.
uh, that is very hard. And uh,
And I'm
I
pretty
can
sure that it's very difficult to talk about it as well with
very I
anyone.
was very hesitant, like, I met Nida,
Mhm,
and I met a lot of people. I met you, no, and out of all those a lot of people, I can count it on my fingers. I think there was only 5 or 6 people who I could openly talk about my sexuality in college itself, because
mhm.
there were so many people in our committee itself who used to frown upon me. I know you have problems with me, but you don't have to openly say it. Like, you're already spreading hate. But how much ever, I used to show, like, I don't care. But somehow the other, those words or those expressions or the passive aggressive comments, they just seep into your brain,
Yeah,
and
I
you
really
question your own self.
hopefully I'm not the person who hurt you in any way. Um, but it's the fact that being in a situation in a environment where you have to be safe, you actually don't get the safety. And then as a person, when you go through something that's very different, I'll say, in a way, because not a lot of people are suffering from the same emotions. It's hard to talk about it even with your friends, because you just don't know how to communicate, right? um and as I said, it might have taken a lot of mental health.
I used to carry a knife with me in my bag.
And I took
uh,
that out of your bag a lot of times.
and I think that was the only thing that made me feel safe as
Mhm,
a woman,
mhm,
as a woman in LGBTQ community, in
mhm.
both the aspects. I think that knife was the only thing that made me feel safe enough,
Yeah.
which
Because
is absolutely horrifying, because what college student is supposed to carry knives with them to, make themselves safe?
yeah, it's the environment all over the all over our all over our college, and not just in college. I mean, the whole India, even with the rights, even after being it's normalized by the government, people have not normalized.
Definitely. I'll agree on that.
There are transgenders in India especially have been given such, like, how do I say this, um they're not even considered as humans. Sometimes I feel like the way the
They have
transgender,
suffered the most
they have
in the
suffered the
community.
most. They have this, yeah, especially in India, I feel like. I think that we need to recognize people for their work, not for their sexuality. We need to see how capable people are, and not who people are going to take. I mean, why do you know what people are doing in their bedrooms, guys?
Why is everybody in each other's business? That is my first question. खुद की life संभाली नहीं जा रही. You have to know what's going on there.
Yeah, so and you know it just dawns upon me little by little. I feel like sometimes I feel so privileged that I'm not in LGBTQ, because I don't know how I would have faced all these situations, right? I'm not saying that it's wrong. Okay, don't get me wrong. I just
And
I just think that this privilege of being heterosexual is there, because I don't have to go through all that. I have to go through a lot of things, a lot of different things. But then there's this thing that I don't have to go through.
nobody is telling you how to live your life. That is your
Yeah, yeah.
biggest privilege.
Nobody comes and says, "Oh, you are liking a girl, or you're liking this, or you're asexual, or this and that." I mean, they have so much to say. They have so freaking much to say about you.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you have so much to say this about us? What is it so special about us that you want to talk about it? What
Yeah.
is it about us that you want to restrict us so much? Are straight people so in? I feel like straight people are so insecure sometimes.
It's
I
not
just
about straight people. It's about how people don't understand it's okay to be whoever you are. At this age and at this time, if someone is going to ask me, it's similar like how our parents ask us to be engineers or like someone in
I,
science.
I hope you're not an engineer, right?
No, I'm not. It's similar to that. My parents wanted me to be an artist, by the way. Do you think that there's a lack by the government in awareness that it's okay, and people really don't understand why it is okay? That's why there's like so much stereotype and so much hate towards the LGBTQ community.
Government plays a very important role, considering a lot of rights have not been granted to us yet. The recent thing which I told you about, the adoption thing,
Hmm.
okay, um, that is something that has been just not, the petition got into court last year. But the bill which we were like hoping ke ho jaye, I just like somehow it gets accepted
Hmm.
and passed on.
Hmm.
It's been there for decades now. Like, why is a person not allowed to have a privilege to adopt their own child just
Yeah.
because they have partners in the same sex? I just want to know why. And the government, the politicians, be it any country, our
Mhm.
country or any country, they have, I just don't under their audacity, or they're just too brave to do that, like to openly pass very wrong and hateful comments about the community itself. Now this is what you're preaching to public.
Yeah,
Some
that's what
of
I'm
them,
saying. Do you think that the lack of
yes,
awareness is
definitely.
also this is something that I have realized on my own, because as I said, I'm still trying to understand. Because once if you're privileged in something, you don't really understand the other system, right? But because of having the he she thing in our books, because of having like a male figure and a female figure, and everywhere wherever we read, it's always a guy and a guy
Mhm.
with a girl. That's how we study, right? That
Why not person?
education systems all around the world make it seems like that the only possible relations that can be in the world is a guy and that a male and a female, not a male and a male. Because I remember, and I've seen because my cousins are very young, so I've seen their books as well. I've not seen a single book saying that, at least now when people are getting more aware about the pronouns and stuff, it's still he and she,
People
and it's
still think
still male and female everywhere. It's still so. Do you think that it starts with the knowledge, the basic knowledge?
education system needs to change in every way possible.
Hmm.
And as I said, government plays a huge role right now all around the world. If
Mhm.
you if some sort of awareness have to be bought,
Mhm.
first thing, it's through education. You
Mhm.
have to break the cycle, and you have to bring in the new topics, not new topics, bring in the topics that have existed for a very long time, and have been kept away from kids, considering have been kept away from kids in the name of homophobia. As simple as that. It's 21st century, kids need to learn it.
Also, I feel like for a lot of things, they just think that it's easier to ignore it than to actually acknowledge it. And and
Like,
I mean, I know that talking about it might will make you feel bad about it. I'm really sorry about that. But
mhm.
it's just something that has to be brought into attention. because I'm not within the community. I don't understand the community as in a better way, right?
Mhm.
Even if like you are my friend, I do understand you, but I don't understand it fully. You're understanding? I feel like there
Yeah.
should be like this is high time that we start educating ourselves. This is high
Definitely.
time we start educating people
Or
around.
isn't government responsible for that? And people.
People are not supporting this topics that should be supported in that manner, that the government takes like a very very strong action on it. Just imagine, we're a country of 1.3 billion people. Even if half of the people supported the bill and made pressure on the government, don't you think the bill would have passed?
Definitely.
So do you think that there's some ignorance by the people itself?
A lot of ignorance.
I'll always be there. I'll support you.
Thank
uh,
you.
it's a topic that we can talk about.
A lot. There's
And
no end to it.
there's no end to
But
it. It's basically like women's safety, but
yeah,
in a very different way. At least women are allowed to be feminine.
I have this hope, and I just hope someday it happens. Like, maybe not this generation, maybe not next, but I feel like there will be a generation on this earth where I feel like there would be no difference, where this term community, the LGBTQ community,
Which is
would
so wrong. I mean, why do you have to be a community? Come on, you are humans
that
as well.
that term community would just go away, and
Yeah.
we'll be all just living like, people, person, humans, like how it's meant to be. And I feel like that is all that is all the people in the community,
Mhm.
that's what they all want. But I feel
I
like
mean, the start should be by stop calling it community.
exactly. But
The start
there's
would be by stop saying it LGBTQ plus as well.
there is a long way
Let's
to go
let's recognize
so it still
everyone
has to stay
as
community.
humans, right?
There's a long way to go. Yeah, you're right. But there's a very long way to go, so it still
And
has to be
I
community.
understand why would people say that I belong to the LGBTQ plus community, because they need that safe side, right? You need your safe haven. You need that safe space for yourself. And if making a community gives you the safe space, you would absolutely own that space. And I mean, I do agree to that. But I somewhere or else, in my stupid head, I believe that once we stop saying that it's a community, and when once we start thinking that all of us are like normal humans having different choices, because sometimes I just, because my imagination runs wild.
Definitely.
Sometimes I feel like, what if um the society was in a part where homosexuals were norm, and being
Oh,
heterosexual was something which was not the norm. Like, there should be like a day where heterosexuals or all the straight people like me should like should actually experience what
what
it's
we go
like to
through?
be like alienated, or what
I
it's
would
like to
break.
be like not in the norm. No, I mean, don't you think that that's a good way to start? Like, making other people feel like how you would feel. That's how you
Trust
can
me,
make
a
them
lot of people
understand.
would be offended. A lot of people would not be open to this idea.
Oh, obviously they are not going to be open, because that's my stupid idea.
But it's perfect in my head.
In my head, that's the perfect way to make me understand how you guys feel.
But what you said, I mean, if by some miracle, if there's some day like this around the world, trust me, a decade is enough to sweep out all the, not all, but a lot of homophobia out of this world. When people actually start experiencing shit.
If homosexuals or gender fluidity was actually the norm, and heterosexuality was not the norm, then I just want to understand how 90% of, I mean, how the majority of the people would. Um,
It's so
Ramsha,
unnatural. Oh my god, you're a guy? You're dating a girl? That is so wrong. The other day, a friend of mine in the community, uh, she was holding a flag in her hand. She's a trans person. Okay. A classmate of her threw a can of black paint all over her. And nobody in the cafeteria said anything about it. When she went to the principal of the school, they did not take any action. It's like it happens. You are letting it happen. See, this is where the hardship begins, when people don't take actions for the crimes or for the unfair things or the injustice that is happening against the community.
yeah, it, to be very frank, explaining people that everyone has their own choice and everyone has the right to have their own choice is very important. It's
I
it's
think
the ignorance by people, and it's how, I mean, the principal should have done something. And the thing is, it's not even reported, is it? Not, right? It's not reported. And even
the
if she,
principal asked the parents, they were like, we're going to pay you for it if you don't report it. And her parents were homophobic. They did not report it. Their own child went through this thing. They did not report it. My friend ended up in hospital with two suicide attempts. She's still in hospital right now. She had to face the consequences of it, and now she's in psychiatric ward fighting for her life. You see, people do shit, but they don't understand how severe the consequences of their actions can be.
we have to end this video, but I would like to end by saying, as a person from outside, um, I think it's very necessary that we are educated about it. We should know what the community is. Well, thank you so very much coming on the channel, Ramsha. I'm really, really thankful for you coming and telling us your story and sharing your views. I'm pretty sure
I
that
would do anything for a beautiful woman.
we don't do this on the channel, okay? um but thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for talking about this as well. As I said, there might be other people who had different experiences, have different process, have different thoughts within the community as well. But if there's something which either of us have said, which is, again, which sounded insensitive or which sounded wrong, I'm sorry about that. And from my side, if I sounded insensitive towards the community, I'm really, really sorry. I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to
It's
learn,
okay.
and
Definitely okay.
I promise I'll get better.
All right.
um thank you so much, Ramsha, and thank you everyone for watching this
It was
video.
a privilege to do this. So thank you for bringing out this topic and spreading awareness. You are doing a lot. You know, you might think it's a little bit, but you're doing this a lot. By making this video, people are going to watch it. It is really a lot.
I can't say how many people are going to watch it. I just,
Even if two people watch it, it makes a difference, Kanika. That's what I'm
I
saying. It is
know.
a lot for us.
That's the basic reason I have this channel. But yeah, as I said, I'm really sorry if I said something wrong. And thank you guys for watching this video. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.